Hello, welcome to the Happy Hippie Intuitive and to this show and tell of some new decks that I have gotten. I'm going to show you 9 decks today, some tarot, some oracle. I do this every now and then when I have a show and tell. These are new decks that I have received. I still haven't shown you all the decks I have at home, but these decks are new, so I just got them in the mail from a book depository, and there are still some more on the way, but I'll make a separate video about that. But this one is a new deck, so at least they're new for me. There might have been some of these decks that has been around for a while, but they're new to me, okay? So I'm going to go through all of them. So grab yourself a cup, get comfortable, and we'll go through them together, okay? Okay, so let us move some of these over here for now. See which one we're going to start with. I think I'm going to start with This Might Hurt Tarot, the new edition of that one. So let us see. So let's look at this one. This is the This Might Hurt Tarot deck. Now this is a new edition. This is it was an indie deck that you could only get on her website. So I have those as well. Let me see if I can find that real quick. I do believe I have it around me here somewhere. Yeah. So this is what it looked like when it was the indie deck, okay? It was in a black box. It was with a book, and I can show you real quick. The back was like this, black and white, and of course then the cards. Very soft, very sturdy card stock, and matte finish. Okay, so that was the original one that she made, Isabella Rotman. So that was the indie. Now they have made this one with, I believe it is, yeah, it says liminalu.com. So that I guess is the company that is making them now, and I got to buy this at Book Depository. You can probably find it at Amazon, I'm guessing. So I'm going to look at this one as well for you. So it opens in the bottom, this one, and it slides out like so. And then of course you have the guidebook and the cards. So let us look at this. And kind of very fun inside too. There's some nice flowers and stuff on the inside. Kind of cool. So there is this guidebook, and it's quite good. It is a little bit different than the other one, but you know, a good guidebook all in all, I would say. Informative, a lot of information about each card. So there you go. Now they have changed the cardstock and they have changed the back. So now it is colored, and I actually have to say that I like this back better. It is, however, glossy, as you can see. So that's the big change as well. And the cardstock is not as thick as the first one, but it's still very good, very sturdy. This is a good cardstock, I have to say. A lot better than many others that I've seen. So, but let us now look at the images of this deck. Now, I personally love this deck, and I have used it a lot in previous readings. If you follow this channel, you've probably seen me use this deck before. Not this particular one, but the first one that I had, which was the indie deck. But I just truly love these images. So let's just go through them. Just flip through them and have a look. So you get an idea as to what this deck is all about. Now, this is, of course, a modern deck. It is, of course, you know, a creative way of looking at the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. So it is recognizable in that sense. It's not that difficult to understand what the image is about or what card it is depicting. So I really, really like this deck. It's easy to understand if you know tarot. It's beautiful. The colors are vibrant. It's modern, you know. So it has become one of my favorite decks for sure. So yeah, leave a comment if you want to comment on any other decks that I'm showing you today. I love to hear from you guys to see what kind of decks you use, if you have some decks that you would like to recommend for me. or if you have an experience with one of the decks that I am showing you. What is your experience and how do you use the cards? That would be nice for me to hear. I love this sun card. Oh, beautiful. So I just adore this deck. It's definitely one of my favorite decks. I do have some new decks coming, and this summer I think I'm going to make another top 15 tarot decks video again. I did one a couple of years ago, but of course now I've gotten some new decks since then, and so I'm going to make a new one soon. Anyway, so that was the This Might Hurt Tarot, that newer edition, the mass production of the deck. I do believe that she still has some for sale if you wanted the indie deck version. You'll have to Google that one, I'm not sure. But at least now you can get a hold of this deck as a mass production, which is of course normally a lot cheaper than the indie decks as well. So there you go, This Might Hurt Tarot by Isabella Rotman. So let us move on. Let's do an oracle. So this is called the Sign of the Times Oracle by Crystal Banner. 44 cards and also quite modern style. So it's good and sturdy box. And it says in here, this is the sign you're waiting for. And there is a guidebook here. Quite a good guidebook. I love it when they have a picture of the card as well. It makes it easier to find them. And there is 2 pages per card, so that's quite good. So quite good information, I would say, in this book. I adore the cards, and I will show you in a minute, but the back. Now I have a feedback for you, Crystal Banner. I don't love the back, and the reason is not because it's ugly, but because if you look here, don't you get just drawn in here and your eyes just go wonky or whatever? Do you understand what I mean by that? So I can't look at that too long because then my eyes hurt. So that's the only thing. If there was something in the middle here, so to cover this center, it would be okay. But when it's this center here, it's just, it doesn't work for me. But anyway, so, but other than that, beautiful cards, love them. Okay, so let's look at them. So quite, simple images, but beautiful colors, and they're matte, so that's good, not the glossy kind. It's good for the camera. But straight to the point information, and a word underneath, of course, to explain what the card is about. So these are the images. Now these cards is something I will use in addition to kind of an extra. You can of course use it as a base of a reading as well. Of course you can. But I think for me I'll probably use them as some extra cards in the reading after the tarot. I sometimes do oracle cards in the beginning and then some tarot, and then I have some extra cards in the end. And they're very often the more simple cards, if you will, the more where it's quite simple, just is one word or it's one little image, something like that. But of course it can be used in any way. You can use them also intuitively, just intuit the image. So many ways to do this. But I love this deck. I think it's beautiful. It's simple but beautiful, and I like the modern take on it, of course. And her way of interpreting different symbols. It's kind of cool. Because here, this card, it says destiny. But for me, this would also maybe be a visitor from the other side, So it's different ways of reading each card, of course. So, yeah. I love this one too. Isn't that great? Yeah. So yeah, I truly love this deck, I have to say. I just wish the back was different, but I'll just have to hide them underneath some other cards so I don't see it. And then it won't be a problem because the images here are so good and I love it. So there you go. So let's pack that away. So that was the Sign of the Times Oracle. Okay, moving on. Let us do this one right here. This is a fun one. Star Wars affirmation cards. Now, I did not order this myself. This was a gift from my boyfriend, or fiancé rather. And I didn't see it coming. I didn't even know he was planning on buying me anything. I do believe he ordered it through Amazon, from what I understand. But I didn't even know that these existed. So I was thrilled when I saw it because, you know, I actually am also a Star Wars fan. I just love those movies. I love any movies about space and stuff like that. So, yeah, but let's look at the card. So it's a sturdy, good box, just open on the top like so. And then there is a little guidebook here as well, but it's not a lot of information. It's the card and then it's a little bit of information, but it's more, I'm not so sure this was meant as an oracle deck, the spiritual deck. I'm not so sure. I think maybe it was more for fan-based Star Wars people, maybe. But anyways, so it's not really that much information on each card, but it's enough. And it's an affirmation deck. I mean, it's advice, if you will, from the Star Wars world. So the backs have different names on them: activity, inspiration, affirmation, and guidance. Okay, so that's kind of the 4 suits, if you will, in this deck. And these are the cards. So let's just look at them real quick. So there are real pictures from the movies here. And some, of course, are quotes from Yoda, which is this is something I really love. So, and it's also the newer movies, as you can see, because this is the one about Han Solo. If you know about Star Wars universe at all, Kylo Ren. So yeah, truly, truly love these cards. And as kind of a Star Wars fan, I grew up with Star Wars. So, yeah, this is a deck for me. Most definitely. So, yeah. Yeah, and a lot of the old actors here as well. That's really fun. Some of the new, some of the old, you know, from the Star Wars universe, which is really cool. Yeah. So I guess either you like Star Wars or you don't. If you're not a fan, then maybe this is not the deck for you. If you are a fan, I would highly recommend it. It's really, really good. So just pulling one card for your own affirmation or using it in a reading, you know. I have used them for both, so yeah. So that's that. Yep. Let us put those away again. There you go, the Star Wars affirmation cards. Okay. So that was 3 decks. Now let's move on to the Pulp Girls Tarot deck. Good and sturdy box. I got this as book depository. Rock Point, it says here, is the publisher. Now let us look at the guidebook. Quite a good guidebook, really, but the only problem I had is that the pages started falling out, so I had to tape them back in. So that's not, of course, a good sign. It might have been just this one, you know, maybe all the other ones were okay, I don't know, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so a good sturdy box and easy to get the cards out. You just pull this thing here. Now, the backs are totally okay. Now, the cardstock is on the, yeah, it's okay, but it's not the best cardstock I've seen, but it's okay. Okay, it's workable. Now let's look at the images. Now I love the images themselves. I truly do. There are lots of beautiful images here, and a modern kind of twist on the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. The only thing I have as an issue is if you look up closely, you will see that the pixels on these images are not so good. Okay, when you see the dots, that's not so good pixels. So that's the only thing I would say, is that I wish that they would have made it a little bit cleaner. It also looks almost like there's a filter on some of these. As you can see, they're kind of darkened a little bit. So, you know, if I'm picky, I would say that that's not a plus. But anyways, it is what it is. The images themselves are beautiful, and that's kind of what I try to focus on. So let's look at the images. So yeah, it's easy to see what they're about. They're more or less kind of copies of the Rider-Waite Smith Tarot, but of course with a new twist. And they have also used people of all colors, which is something I really like, that the diversity of it. So that's cool as well. And it is the girls, you know, so there's, I don't think there's any men in this deck, actually. I think they're all girls, which is also kind of cool. Yeah, so there's 2 women here, actually. So, yeah, so it's kind of a female energy power deck, if you will. And that's cool. I enjoy that as well. So as I said, the images here are cool. I just wish that they would have gotten a different printer to print these cards, both when it comes to cardstock and the pixels on each card here. And of course the guidebook was not sticking together. So that's the only negative I have. Other than that, as I said, the images are really fun, and I just love this deck because of that. There you go. That are the cards. Let's just put them back in the box so we can move on. I do believe you can get these. I think I've seen them on Amazon as well. I mean, Book Depository in England has closed, so you can't really get anything there anymore. The Pulp Girls Tarot deck. That was. Now, let us move on to Woodland Wardens 52 card Oracle deck and guidebook by Jessica Rue. And that's a sturdy and good box. Just open it on the side or pull it up like that. Now the guidebook is quite good. It's quite thick and lots of information. And they have the pictures of each card, which is what I love. Easy breezy, easy to find all the images and all the information. So that's that. And that's good with this deck also because it's not that much of information on each card here. But I'll get into that. But this is the back. I find it quite beautiful. The colors are kind of brown and beige-ish. I would say dark brown. Now these are the images. So it is about the animals, of course, and they're also the herbs and flowers and trees and stuff like that. So it's kind of when they say woodland, it's what lives in the woods when it comes to plants and when it comes to animals is what I would say. Okay. So it's the name of the animal and the name of the plant or flower or herb or whatever herb that they have here. And then underneath there is one word only. Like this one says leadership in the bottom there. So you kind of have to either use the guidebook, read only the, you know, the one word, or you have to read into the card itself. If you know a lot about you know, herbs and plants and stuff, then this is definitely the deck for you, or if you're interested in that stuff. So on the, it says, of course, here, the symbols, they explain the symbols first here, what, you know, what the plant is and what the animal is, and then what the meaning is upright or what the meaning is reversed. And then there is a little inspirational quote at the bottom here that you can use as an affirmation. So that's kind of how it's built up. So let's look at the images. Now this is of course artwork, and really good artwork as well, I think. Very, very unique images, very special. And they have used the Roman numbers on top here, so you better brush up on that if you're not so good at the Roman numbers. Yeah. So I'll just flip through them kind of quickly so I don't spend all my time up. We still have 4 decks to go here. And some of them are going to require some time. So I'm just going to flip through this quite quickly. Now cardstock wise is really good. It's matte and it's, yeah, it's sturdy and good. So this will last a while, this one. Yeah, there's beautiful images here. I just, I have to say that the artwork here is really good. I don't know if it's her that has done the artwork as well, probably. It doesn't really say, so yeah, Oracle deck and God. So I think she is actually the artist as well here. Yeah, Jessica Rue is a Nashville-based freelance illustrator and the author of Floriography, an illustrated guide to the Victorian language of flowers. Okay, so there you go. Yep, that's it. That's the Woodland Wardens Oracle deck and guidebook. Okay, moving on. Let's go to another tarot deck. This is the Real Talk Tarot. Really fun deck, this one as well. I got this one as book depository. It's illustrated by Juanita Londoño Gaviria. And it's Epic Ink is the company that has given this out. So this is the guidebook, quite easy, you know, it's the image, which is, I love even in colors, and then there's a little information on the bottom. And they have made it quite fun, you know, the information here in this guidebook is, you know, it's really, yeah, fun. So there you go. And also here, the cards are easy to get out. That's always a plus. And this is the back, quite fun. Now, I have to say, cardstock wise, they're okay. Okay, they're okay. It's not the best I've seen, but it's not bad either. It works. But if you are using the cards a lot and if you're really rough with the cards, they might chip on the sides. They might, okay? Just to have that said. Yeah, but I think it's good enough. I mean, it's not a bad quality at all. It's just me being picky. Okay. So let's look at the images here. These are also quite modern images, of course. Very fun, I find them. Very colorful, as you can see. So a little bit kind of, I don't know, whimsical. Some of the cards have a lot going on in the cards. Some of them are quite straightforward, but some of them have a lot going on. And you might like that or you might not like that, you know. Yeah. It is what it is. So I think it's fun. I've used it quite a bit, actually. It's very different from anything I've seen before. And that's always fun. And it's a unique way of looking at some of the meanings behind the cards as well. So, yeah. Its an interpretation might be a little bit different sometimes than what you're used to. But that's what makes it fun to have these different tarot decks, is that they can have different meanings about stuff. So that's cool. Yeah, not much more to say about this. I'll just flip through the cards. Fun Emperor card. I love this King of Wands. I don't know, it's just something about the way he's sitting there. I love that. Anyways, yeah, no, it's a fun deck for sure. That's that. So let us put them back in the box. So that was the Real Talk Tarot. Okay, so let us move to Spirit Allies by Jill Pyle and Sydney Beckert, illustrated by J.K. 60 card deck and guidebook. It opens up like so. This is the back of the deck, or the box. And then we have this in the inside. Asking you shall receive, you're always guided. Kind of fun. We have a guidebook. To the point with the pictures. A lot of information in here. Actually quite a good guidebook even though it's small. This is the back. Very special. Quite beautiful I find. And it's also gilded. Or actually silver. Well, how do you say that when it's not gold? Is it still gilded or is it just silver? I don't know. I'm not English, people. Or American. I'm Norwegian. Bear with me. You can tell me what it's called in the comment section. Anyways, so these are the images. Now, the thing about this is that they don't have any information on the cards. It's just the image and the number and the name of the card. Okay? So that's why you need the guidebook or you have to read it intuitively. There are different kind of topics also in here. Let me see if I can find that real quick in the book here in the beginning. Yeah, so you have Goddess Allies, Crystal Allies. Let's see if you can see that. Goddess Allies, Crystal Allies, Plant Allies, Animal Allies, and the Cosmic Allies. Okay, so there's kind of 5 suits here, if you will. So this is the cards. And if you know about the plants or the crystals, then you have the information already. But if not, then you'll have to use the guidebook. So for me, I would probably read them intuitively. But if I draw a card for myself or if I use it as a major energy in a reading, I would probably use the guidebook as well. That's just the way I do it, but you know. So it's the signs here as well, of course. From the Cosmic Allies. That's one of the Goddess Allies, Animal Allies, Crystal, Obsidian. So, so cute. So it's simple images, but I like it. I think it's beautiful. I like the vibrant colors in this. The cards are really good. Good cardstock, I have to say. It's not gonna be destroyed anytime soon. So yeah, I find it really beautiful and fun. So yeah, if you're into, you know, the goddess, the crystals, the animals, you know, it's almost like a shamanic deck, I would say, because it has all these different elements. The cosmic and the animal kingdom and the crystals and the goddesses, and you know, it's, yeah. But use it the way you want to use it, you know. Beautiful deck in my opinion anyways. So let's put that away. That is the Spirit Allies. So now let's see what I want to do first. I think I have to do this one. So the Lion Strider Tarot comes in a big box by Ciolo Thompson. And it's a big guidebook. If you buy, I guess you can buy it just as just the deck as well, maybe in a smaller box, but this is the big box. So the guidebook is, of course, very thorough. It's like 10 of Wands has 2 pages here, big pages, and so there's the image of each card, you know, and at least 2 pages of information. So it's really informative, good guidebook, I have to say. And then, of course, it's just pulling this up. Very easy to get the cards out. And then this is the back. It looks like some of those cards that the psychiatrist uses, you know, holding up, what do you see? But it's fun. I find it fun. So the cardstock is good. It's a good cardstock. It's on the thinner side, but still a good quality. It's glossy. So let's look at them. I do have the mini version of this. Let me see if I can just stretch over here and find that on my shelf. Yeah, this is the mini version of them. And I think they have the same back as well. Yeah, so the mini version is exactly the same, just smaller. That's what I throw in the bag and bring with me when I go out and meet friends and stuff. So there you go. Okay, but let's look at the big version now with the images. Now this artwork I find really beautiful and really special. I have not seen any deck done this way before. So the artistry here I was kind of what drew me in. If you have followed my channel for a while, you know that I also do art. I'm not professional by far, but I do watercolor and gouache. And so I've been painting for a while now, 3 years approximately. Found my grandfather's old palette, or 2 old palettes and paper and brushes and everything, and just started painting 3 years ago. Didn't really think that I could paint, since my great-grandfather was a painter, my grandfather was a painter, my father was really good at drawing, and so I didn't think that that was for me. But it turns out that some of it, at least, has been handed down to me. Some of the talent has been handed down to me. So I do that as well. So that's why when I saw this deck and I saw this artistry and how intricate it was and the coloring and everything, I just, oh man, I have to have that. I just love this one. It's so beautiful. It's very special. It's either you like it or you don't kind of feeling with these cards, of course. But if you do appreciate art, then I would say that this is a deck for you. Because it's really unique artwork, I have to say. So, and it looks to me like they have been using watercolors, at least as a background here, from what I can see. And the techniques used here looks very watercolory. So yeah, this is a unique deck for sure. So I'll just flip through it real quick. The sun. Yeah. And that's that. So that is the Line Strider Tarot with the big box. Let's just put those away before I find the last deck of today. There you go. That was the Line Strider Tarot. Okay, moving on. Now, Celestial Frequencies, Oracle Cards and Healing Activators by Light Star. Now, I already have her other deck, which I don't remember the name of right now, but I might be information. Yeah, there might be some information in here about the other deck. She has another deck that she made before. Big box, a big guidebook here. A lot of information about each card. A lot of information. Let me just see if I can find out where it says what other deck she has given out before. Magical Dimensions Oracle deck was the other one, I guess. Magical Dimensions. Yeah, I think that's the name of her other deck. And I really love that deck, the Magical Dimensions. And so So I really, of course, wanted to have her the second deck as well. So it opens like this. You just pick them up like so. Now this is the back. And it's gilded on the edges. So this is really a unique deck, I have to say, okay? And since I love the images on her first deck, and it had really high frequency, I felt when I opened that deck and started using it. So I had some special expectations about this deck. I have to say the cardstock is okay. The only thing is that it has been cut so that the edges are a little bit up on the edges. If you can hear that. So that's a tiny bit annoying for me. But okay, you know, it's not a deal breaker. But the images, okay. The images are very special. And there is a language, I guess this is light language. So it's a very special taste, okay? I have to say that. It's not like I don't like it, it's not like I hate it, but it's, for me, it's not as good as the first one, okay? It's not as good as the Magical Dimensions deck, which is something I really like, where the images was more like images, not just symbols and light language, okay? But that's just my personal preference. Doesn't mean that this is a bad deck, okay? Don't misunderstand me. But there is a word here and information on the bottom, and the number, so you can find it in the guidebook. But the image is, I feel like you have to connect with a deeper level within you. This is not a normal oracle deck, okay? But that's kind of with the Magical Dimensions as well, is that it's a very high frequent energy, and high frequent light language has been used with these cards. So you kind of have to tap into maybe more cosmic star people kind of feel when you're using this deck, okay? And it's the also the vibrations of the geometry is very special here. So yeah, let us just look at the cards together, okay? And you can judge for yourself. You can comment in the comment section how you would use these cards and how they make you feel, okay? Yeah, some of them also have the hertz vibration on them, information. So each card has a vibrational signature, is what I would say. Okay. So it's I would say it's not for the faint-hearted because sometimes when you use decks that has very high vibration, it can kind of knock you off the feet. That was what I felt with the first deck she had, Magical Dimensions. I had to let it sit in my room for a long time before I opened it because I felt like the energy was so strong. So this is very specialized, and if you feel drawn to this deck, then you buy it. But if you do not feel drawn to it, don't buy it, because as I said, it's very special frequency here. I just hope that some of the images would be more images as well as the geometry. That's my personal preference. So that's why it's not my top priority deck. That's why I feel like it's not as beautiful as the first deck she made. But that's my personal preference. These cards might be more, you know, angelic. I mean, it is celestial frequencies. So, yeah. But it is very special, and I will use it. But I'm not sure I can use it in a reading on a channel. You know, this is more maybe on my other channel where I do where we talk about the awakening process, Awakening with Nina. That's channel is called, where we go deeper into the awakening process, where I share channeled information and stuff like that. That's kind of on a deeper level in the awakening process. So this deck is more maybe for that channel, I think, than just doing normal readings on this channel. So that's kind of how I feel, because this goes deep, okay? So that's that. It's a very unique deck, very special deck, and either you love it or you don't. Either you feel drawn to it or you don't. But it's not like you have to be, you know, playing with the high frequent energies on your awakening journey to be awakening. It's just a different kind of frequency. It's just a different vibration, if you will. Some people like to work more with the cosmic stuff, where there is different frequencies, and some people like to work more with the angelic stuff, where that's different frequencies. So it's just different. It's not better or worse than. Just remember that. So if you're not drawn to these kind of frequencies, doesn't mean that you're not in your awakening process. Doesn't mean that you are not, you know, walking the steps, if you will. It's just a different way and different frequencies. That's all. So, but these frequencies, I feel, are really potent in a way. It kind of does something to you when you start playing with these frequencies. So either you feel drawn to it or not. So feel into if what you're drawn to is the best advice I would give there in that sense. So that was the Celestial Frequencies Oracle Card and Healing Activators by Lightstar. So that was pretty much all I had for today. So I hope you enjoyed some of these decks that I have shown you today, and that you will help this channel by giving it a thumbs up if you liked what I did here. And if you want to see more of these kind of videos, feel free to comment in the comment section if you have any questions, suggestions, opinions. Everything is welcome. So, and if you want to dig a little bit deeper into your awakening process, then you find my other channel linked below, Awakening with Nina, where we do channeled work and talk about that kind of stuff. So other than that, I thank you so much for being part of this video today. I wish you a beautiful day wherever you are in the world. Until the next time I see you.